Hi, I'm Sanjay, and let's talk a little bit about what does it really take to transform your business. As you look to transform, it is really important to think about literally what reimagination means, which is to think about your company holistically. And one frame to help think about this is to look at it as a front stage and a backstage view. So when you look at the front stage, it's everything that a consumer touches. And then you have the backstage, which is everything which is inherently internal to the organization. Now, the reason both these are really important is, as companies look to transform, the mistake we usually make is to focus a lot on the front stage, which is important, don't get me wrong on that, but we forget the backstage. And unless you look at this really end to end, it rarely works. An example is, a fairly large retailer that tried the billion-day sale a few years back. Brilliant idea, really contextual, very timely, superbly marketed. The reason it struggled was not because of the demand it generated, but no one really joined all the dots and said, when this kind of a demand is generated, are we really ready from a fulfillment standpoint, from a supply chain standpoint? Will we be able to bring this together and create the value fulfillment for the consumer, which is the ultimate thing that matters? Because remember that if you create demand and you can't fulfill value, it actually leads to greater customer frustration than not being able to generate demand in the first place. One of the aspects of backstage is also culture. It's one of those things that we don't usually pay enough emphasis to, and we forget a very simple, again, much used adage, which is, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And the reason is because people run organizations, and people inherently do not like change unless they feel they are inspired by it because they're part of it, rather than they end up being intimidated by it because they feel it's happening to them. So unless you're addressing culture in a very, very purposeful way, the best of strategies, the best of the thought through transformation stories aren't just going to happen. Think about what are the aspects that you might be either oversimplifying or not taking into account, because unless you transform holistically, it's not going to give you the value that you're looking to unlock.